So within each of our lessons, kindergarten through high school, we follow the same 5 parts of practice, the same format every single time. We like to develop this structure for students so they know what is coming every time we come in, and they feel more safe to express themselves through yoga and mindfulness. So I'm going to dive into each of these 5 parts of practice. The first one is the seated practice. So this is a time to focus on and practice known self-regulation techniques. This might be a breath technique, a mantra, mudras. So anything that students have learned, they recall it during this time. In elementary, I'm going to dive into mudras in a second because our first couple of years of curriculum always start with mudras. But starting in year 3 of elementary and moving up all the way through high school, that seated practice starts with different techniques, different breath techniques, and it may pull from mudras. So what mudras are like yoga for our fingers, pretty much. When you hold your fingers together in different ways, you trigger different acupressure points within your hands. And so in doing so, it's going to send different messages to the mind and body, maybe calming it down, maybe giving it more energy. And so typically when we teach mudras, we give students 3 different options. We have them stop and breathe within each of those options. We tell them what the mudras are meant for. And then the fourth time through, we have students choose the mudra that felt best for their mind and body, felt right for their mind and body. So it might have been the first, second, or third, or it might have been a mudra they'd learned a previous time. So this is really helping us develop self-awareness by sitting and noticing how each mudra feels in the mind and body. And also, it starts to promote self-management. The students learn how to choose the one that feels best for them, so they're more likely to pull from that in the future. Our second part of practice is movement. So this is a time to connect the mind, body, and breath. And when I've done this in classrooms in the past, I've noticed that it evens out the energy. It lowers the energy of those high energy students who might have a little extra movement in their bodies. And it raises the energy of those low energy students. So it really evens things out and helps focus the students. Within our movement section, you might see the sun salutation. Often that is what we start with. And you might also see a yoga flow with music. So elementary, we do a different song for every year of curriculum, and we tie yoga poses to that song. So that's another option that we often start with. Our third part of practice is the heart of the lesson. This is where we introduce mindfulness and social emotional techniques that we want students to learn and utilize moving forward. This might involve breath work, body movement, social engagement, literature, music, or mindfulness tools. Our fourth part of practice is our guided mindfulness, which is often referred to in the younger grades as the yoga nap. During this time, we play a song, or we play a recording or read a guided mindfulness script. So during this time, we instruct students to close their eyes or use eye pillows, lay in a position that's comfortable and safe feeling for them. And this is the time of the practice that really helps reset the students. So think of your minds like a computer, and often, at least for my computer, I end up with a ton of tabs open. I have random music playing from somewhere. My computer starts running slowly or just isn't working right. And the IT person tells me to try restarting my computer. After my computer's been restarted, it works fine. And so this is what our brains need as well. Sometimes our brains hit that overload point and we just need time to reset. So the guided mindfulness practice also helps nurture imagination, because many times we're walking them on a guided visualization, having them imagine different landscapes, different things that they're doing. It also promotes relaxation, especially with the use of the eye pillows. That weight really helps students learn what it feels like to relax those facial muscles. Once in a while, if students are okay with it, we also put eye pillows on the wrists and the ankles if the students need additional help calming their bodies down. We have many albums on most music streaming platforms such as iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. Most of these albums start with at least mindfulness in. So we have mindfulness in the schools, which is our elementary album, mindfulness in the middle schools, mindfulness in the Catholic schools, and we are currently adding quite a few more of these albums. So those are available to everyone, regardless of whether you have our curriculum or not.